Hi, I'm Annabelle Trades, and the chicken coop is finally done. Well, it's not quite done. I actually still have to install the gutters for the watering system and install 2 gates for the tractor to be able to come back and forth from the compost pile. But aside from that, the chicken coop is done, and the chickens are in fact moved in, which in and of itself was quite an adventure.
Watch those toes. Got those nails handy?
So while it is very important to me that the outside of the coop looks really good, the inside really just needs to be functional. And I'm all about recycling old random stuff that I found around the farm. We have a bunch of old ladders we're going to use as roosting bars, and I have this old grinder stand that needed a home, so here it is. It's going to become our new feed holder stand. The one thing that made this really easy to build is the lean-to design. It's raised up off the ground, and I talk a lot about that in the other video, but I will reiterate one more time that this coop cannot be closed up to protect from coyotes or foxes or anything else. It has welded wire all along the bottom. This outdoor fence is very well enclosed, but the one thing that allows us to have an open coop concept like this is right here, our flock guardians. And we have 2 miniature donkeys and 3 alpacas watching over the flock all the time, and that deters all kinds of other predators. That will keep the chickens from standing up there and pooping on stuff. So even though I am a full-time woodworker and have plenty of wood shavings in my own shop at home, I actually purchased pine bedding because the shavings for my wood shop may or may not contain wood species that are toxic to the animals, and they'll also contain high levels of dust because I've created the dust using the shavings using machines, which can cause a lot of respiratory problems for the chickens. So even though it's ridiculous that I have to purchase these shavings, it's very important to me to put the health of my birds first. Another really fun thing is, because this is a new environment for the birds, they're not going to be used to laying eggs in these boxes. And so I actually use golf balls for several reasons. And the golf ball's main goal is to basically just remind the chickens that yes, indeed, this is where we put our eggs, because they look like eggs, but also because the golf ball is hard. So if you have a chicken that is eating their eggs, you put a few false ones like this where they're pecking and nothing's happening, and it also kind of hurts their beak when they peck at it, then you can easily break them of that habit. Good morning, sunshines. chickies. Come on, guys. We feed our birds organic layer pellets as a supplement to their feed because we also give them garden scraps, and as I was saying before, they get a ton of protein from the worms and the compost that they're constantly stirring. So the chicken coop is pretty much ready to go, but there are two semi-large projects that still have to be done. Obviously, right now I'm bringing their water in by buckets, which is not ideal, but I need to install gutters on that so that we can use our chicken fountain here and use water collection to get that. But until I've got that done, I will just suck it up and use some buckets. The other thing that I still need to do is build a secondary gate there so I can bring the tractor in, because those gates actually open. And that will allow me to bring compost in from the animals' heavy use area with the tractor and allow the chickens to stir it and to get protein from the worms in there. And then similarly, we'll be able to come in here with the tractor and scoop it up and take it directly to the garden. Also, please note that our chickens are all molting right now. They lose their feathers once a year and then regrow them, and that is why some of them look like they have been to hell and back. Casual, natural. So, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Do you mind? Thank you so much for taking the time to... We're just gonna go with it. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video, for supporting my channel. If you would like to support me on Patreon, I would love that. The link for that is below. And the best news about finishing the chicken coop is that the old chicken coop is now empty, and that means my blacksmithing shop is ready to clean out and move into, and I'm gonna get all my forging stuff off the porch, and there are some super rad projects coming your way that way as well. Cheers.